We're talking about an economy that's bigger than some entire countries.
It's true.
We are talking about $7.7 billion flowing through a place most people just think of as, well, that place with all the golf carts.
And the pickleball. You can't forget the pickleball.
Right. But today we're not really talking about hobbies. We are talking about an economic engine that is, and I'm not exaggerating, keeping Central Florida afloat.
Welcome, everyone, to Sunshine and Square Feet.
So that number I just threw out there, 7.7 billion.
Yeah, that's a huge number. I live here. I see the construction everywhere, the traffic, but I don't think I ever grasped just how much money is actually moving through the villages.
It's staggering, and that's really what we want to dig into today. Everyone knows the lifestyle side, but very few people understand the sheer scale of what's happening across these, 89, 90 square miles?
Spanning 3 counties now, Sumter, Marion, and Lake, and the population is up to about 153,000?
Give or take. It changes daily. But here's the thing. It's not just a big neighborhood anymore. It has, for all intents and purposes, morphed into a major metropolitan area.
It definitely feels that way sometimes.
So I think we should break this down into 3 main parts. First, the money, that massive financial footprint.
Okay.
Second, the future, the square feet part of our show, because it is expanding in ways that might surprise some people.
You're talking about the family housing, right? I've got questions about that.
Exactly. We'll get into it. And third, we have to talk about the heart of it all, the volunteering, the giving back. Because all that nice stuff, it actually has a hard economic value too.
The volunteer economy. I love that. Okay, so let's start with the big numbers. 7.7 billion? Where does that come from?
Okay, so I was digging through the U.S. Metro Economies report, and that's the gross metropolitan product, the GMP, for the Wildwood, the Villages area.
GMP, got it.
To put that in context, that single figure accounts for 0.5% of the entire gross state product of Florida.
0.5%? From one community?
From basically one development. And here's something that just blew my mind. The Heartland Forward Institute ranked the Villages as the number 2 most dynamic metro in the entire country.
Number 2? Wow. Who is number 1? Austin?
Midland, Texas.
Midland? Wait, that's oil country, isn't it?
Exactly. That's heavy industry, oil money. And the Villages is right behind them. So Midland is pumping oil, and the Village is pumping, services and healthcare?
That's an incredible comparison. So this economic power is just from people moving here and living their lives?
It's an economy driven by wealth migration. We're not pulling resources out of the ground. We are importing them in the form of people from the north.
I see the license plates every day. New York, Jersey, Illinois, California.
And they're not coming empty-handed. Florida added 1 million households in the last few years, and the Villages is capturing a huge piece of that wealth. The median household income here has jumped to $76,500.
$76,000? Hold on. For a retirement community? That seems
incredibly high. I know, right? You think of fixed incomes, Social Security.
Yeah.
But that's the misconception. A lot of these folks are coming down with major assets, pensions, investments, and that income figure is up over 4% in just 1 year.
And I bet that's driving the housing market.
Oh, absolutely. The median property value is now around $375,000.
An 8% jump.
Yep, but here's the stat that shows this isn't some kind of bubble. The home ownership rate. It's 94.2%.
94? That's unheard of. In most cities, you're happy if you hit 60%.
Exactly. These aren't renters. These people are bought in, literally. But all this growth, all these houses, all these people, it costs money to support.
Oh, I know where this is going. Infrastructure, roads, who pays?
And this is where the story gets really interesting. You remember the tax revolts a few years ago?
How could anyone forget? It was like a revolution. Residents basically fired the county commissioners, right?
They did. It was a political coup. The commission wanted to hike property taxes. I think by 25% to pay for all the new roads for the southern expansion.
And the residents said, no way.
They said, we're on fixed incomes. We're not footing the bill for the developers' growth. So they voted them out. But the result is what's key. The new commission had to find another way to pay for everything.
Impact fees.
Massive impact fees. Now, a new single-family home in Sumter County comes with an impact fee of almost $3,000.
Wow. So the developer pays that and it gets passed on to the new buyer.
Right. The philosophy is growth pays for itself. It's a ruthless model, but it protects the existing residents from tax hikes.
It makes sense. But you need more than roads. You need places for all these people to shop.
Which brings us to the big one. The rumor that's been flying around for what, 5 years?
Costco? Please tell me it's really finally happening.
It is confirmed. Looks like late 2025, maybe 2026.
Finally. But you know, it's more than just cheap hot dogs. It's about the economics of it.
It is. It's about something called retail leakage.
Okay, explain that.
Right now, if you want to go to a Costco, where do you drive?
Up to Ocala, or maybe down toward Orlando?
Exactly. And when you spend your money in Ocala, Marion County gets that sales tax revenue.
Ah, I see.
You're taking money earned in the villages and paving roads somewhere else. That's leakage. Bringing Costco here along with Sam's Club and BJ's plugs that leak. It keeps those tax dollars right here in Sumter County.
It keeps the water in the bathtub.
Perfectly put. And it creates hundreds of local jobs.
You know, we're throwing a lot of numbers around. GMP, impact fees, percentages. It can be a lot to track.
It's a dense topic.
If our listeners want to see the actual reports and charts for all this, there's a really great resource about to drop.
Oh, yes, we got a sneak peek. It's an article publishing on March 3rd. It's called The Villages, a Powerhouse of Prosperity for Central Florida's Future.
It's hosted by a couple of great people, Jim and Tammy McDonald.
No relation, I promise.
No, but they've done a deep dive. It's going to be on your352bubblblog.com.
That's your 352bubblblog.com. So if you want to see the data behind that $7 billion number, mark your calendar for March 3rd.
Okay, so we've established the Villages is an economic giant. But the type of growth is changing, isn't it? I've been hearing about this Middleton project, and honestly, it sounds like a massive shift.
It is probably the biggest strategic pivot in the history of the development.
Because it's not for seniors.
Correct. Middleton by the Villages is a family-oriented, non-age-restricted community.
So here's the million-dollar question. You have 150,000 people who moved here for a 55-plus lifestyle. For the quiet, why on earth would the developer build a family neighborhood right next door?
Simple answer, they ran out of workers.
Is that direct?
It's an economic necessity. You have all these retirees who need health care, who need services, who need people to work in the restaurants and shops.
And those workers can't afford a $400,000 villa.
Not only can they not afford it, they often can't legally live there because they're under 55. A county market analysis showed that 30% of the local workforce under age 29 commutes over 50 miles each way.
50 miles? So an hour, hour and a half drive every single day?
Exactly. Imagine you're a nurse, you finish a 12-hour shift, and then you have that drive home. You're not going to do that for long. The labor shortage was becoming a serious threat to the quality of life here.
So Middleton isn't just a nice thing to do, it's an insurance policy for the entire community.
Staff to live.
And what does it look like? Is it just apartment blocks?
No. It's a full-on master plan community. Its own town center, its own recreation, parks, and a huge charter school. Phase 1 alone is over 1,000 residential units.
1,000? That's a small town right there.
And it's denser housing, up to 24 units per acre in some areas. It's designed specifically as workforce housing.
It's going to change the entire feel of the area, though.
It has to.
You're going to have school buses, playgrounds. It's becoming a real multi-generational city.
It is. And they're creating new community development districts like the Middleton Downtown CDD just to manage it all. It's a city within a city.
You know, it's interesting we talk about the economics of the paid workforce, but there's this whole other massive workforce in the Villages that nobody pays.
Ah, the volunteers.
Yes, I was reading a report that used this great phrase for the residents. It said they have a zest for life.
That definitely sounds right.
But it's more than just zest, it's actual tangible labor. Think about who runs the hospital auxiliary, the honor flights, the food pantries.
It's the residents, it's the retirees.
If you had to pay professional wages for the hours they put in, it would cost millions upon millions of dollars.
And they put their money where their mouth is, too. We talked about that charter school for Middleton. I saw the number in the state auditor's report for the value of the land and buildings the developer donated for that school.
I'm almost afraid to guess.
Just shy of $250 million.
225 million?
$225,583,694. That's a private entity creating a massive public good specifically for the children of that workforce.
It all connects. The developer builds the school so the workforce's kids can learn, so the workforce can provide services to the retirees.
It's a completely self-contained ecosystem, and a huge part of that spirit comes from the background of the people who live here. The veteran population is just incredible.
I saw that. The number of Vietnam veterans alone is over 8,000.
8,000. That's 6 times higher than veterans from any other conflict.
When you have that many people who come from a culture of service, it just permeates everything. They don't retire, they just find new ways to serve.
It's true. You see it in the neighborhood watch groups, the Hugs network when someone is sick. It's a social safety net that has immense value.
So, when we step back and look at the whole thing, the massive GMP, the new family neighborhoods, the volunteer economy, what's the big takeaway?
I think the takeaway is that this place is constantly evolving. It's not a static retirement community. It is a dynamic, self-sustaining, economic city-state.
And for anyone listening who's thinking of moving here, the advice is always the same, isn't it? Visit and stay.
Right. You have to try the lifestyle preview. You can't understand that social fabric, that zest, from a real estate website. You have to feel it.
And for the investors listening, I have a takeaway for them too.
Oh.
That multifamily market analysis was practically screaming about the need for more workforce housing for that under 30 demographic.
That's where the opportunity is.
That is the next 10 years of growth right there. If you see an empty lot near Middleton,
Grab it.
well, this has been an eye-opener. It's amazing to peel back the layers and see the machinery running behind Florida's friendliest hometown.
It really is a fascinating model. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to another episode of Sunshine in Square Feet.
We'll see you on the next one.